the experience that people go through when they go through puberty. And if we look at transgender individuals, this is a huge area to look at. In fact, the research has found when entering into puberty, which is what we see at Tanner stage 2, when you start developing secondary sexual characteristics, when that starts to happen for transgender youth, we see an ongoing increase in both psychological and physical distress because one's body is changing more and more with secondary sexual characteristics that they do not align with, which is one of the areas that we have found GnRH analogs referred to as puberty blockers. I like to call them puberty pausers because it is about a pause. You can never fully block a form of puberty. We all have to go through it, right? But it does put a pause on puberty for individuals, and we can see the benefits both physically and psychologically for this specific population that is very, very small, but very important because each life is important. So puberty can be a contributing factor. When we look at trans bodies, I just mentioned why that can be escalated, but it can also impact anybody, especially because we live in a society that we do not have comprehensive sex education accessible for everyone. So people aren't learning and understanding what's going on with their bodies. Life transitions is another area that highly impacts people. This is when your life routine gets disrupted. This could be due to a divorce in the family. This could be due to a remarriage in the family or a joining of families, moving to a new community or a different school, death in the family or with a friend. When your life routine gets disrupted and it makes you get rocked off your core, that may also be a point where, again, you're not trusting within yourself. You don't feel comfortable nor safe. And so your relationship with food is also not comfortable or safe, is what I'll say. Looking at the socio-cultural side of it, it's where we do look at the influence of our peers and the messaging that we receive from them, and as well as the media. The media is an area that has caused me the most stress in my life over the past 12 years, I'm going to say, especially with the introduction of social media, with where it is today. Number one, information is getting shared today, especially around gender, is not accurate nor true. And so that's something that's causing me a great deal of stress. Number two, it's just more accessible for people to see things that just make them feel bad about themselves. Phones and computers is just an integrated part of people's lives today. So the amount of information, the amount of imagery that may make people feel insecure about themselves is only increasing. With that, then, both the internal and external rule compounding on top of each other, we see that increase in anxiety and depression. And really, anxiety, depression is the thing that we need to focus in on. What is it that's creating this anxiety and depression to keep people stuck in this ongoing cycle of self-harm?